How do you define free will?
I don't. Who said I believe in free will?
I don't know. Do
You just
you?
yeah, no. I don't believe in free will.
You don't believe in free will?
No, I believe that there is a combination of us doing things, and our will is linked to Allah's will. So we have a compatibilistic position between free will and determinism. It's something called compatibilism. I don't know if you know about it or not.
Yeah, I've heard about it. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
make
not
sense
just
to me.
it's not just free will. Yeah, of course. It's not really
So
about what
wait,
makes sense to you. It's about different ideas that are existent and different people presenting different
mhm.
ideas for different things.
So
I'm
wait,
saying we are of that position. So okay, go ahead, yeah.
you believe in free will or no?
I just said to you, I believe in something called compatibilism, right? So I believe the choices that we make as human beings,
Mhm.
we are choosing to do them without force. Those choices that deal with our salvation, things that deals with me entering hellfire or heaven. Those choices that I make, I chose to do those choices. But nothing goes against God, dominion, and power and will in the same time. So there's a compatibilistic position there, something called compatibilism. There's many examples different people have given rationally of how those two can come together. But that's not
But
very important, because what is important is to know whether the religion is true or not. And then I wouldn't believe in compatibilism based on that. The only reason I believe in compatibilism is that I know that there is a creator, because that is now the
mm,
myth. Because if you're an atheist, you have to believe in determinism. You don't have a
yeah,
choice. If you
yeah,
understand
I believe in
atheism,
determinism. Yeah.
yeah, so you don't have you're not choosing to talk to me right now, right?
Huh?
You're not choosing to talk to me right now, yeah? You're
Well,
forced to talk to me.
technically, on like on atomic scale, no.
Yeah, so why would we punish people for rape and murder and stealing? They didn't choose to do it.
Yeah, I don't believe that people deserve punishment. I think that punishment.
So we should reward those rapists, isn't it?
No, because think that there are other benefits to punishment that is not just about retribution. There's like preventing other people
But they don't
from
deserve to be
doing
punished,
bad
according to
things.
you. The pedophiles and the rapists, they don't deserve to be punished. They didn't do anything wrong,
Yeah,
either.
so if I was a god and I was deciding what would happen to them in the afterlife, I wouldn't send them to hell.
No, there's no God in your worldview. We're not talking about God. Why are you trying to bring a red herring into the argument? In your worldview, there's no God. So according to your
Mhm.
belief, we shouldn't be punishing rapists and murderers and pedophiles.
Well, there's a caveat to that. You don't punish them in a case where they're like excluded from the everything else and they don't have to interact with the world in the future. But since they will have to interact with the
So you
world in
believe
the
we should
future,
exile them?
no, I feel like that's a whole like discussion. What's the best way to
No,
deal
but you
with
you think if
criminals?
someone were to come and rape your family member, he's not wrong. He's innocent because he was forced to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just nature acting itself out. But I feel like we should
So
still
so
do
there is
something
no
to
justice
stop it
system. There is
because
no justice system. There's no criminal system. There's no penal laws, right? These are all
no,
rubbish because people are forced to do these things. So it wouldn't make sense for me to electrocute and kill a specific guy who's saying that he is a
it's
pedophile and he
okay.
deserves to
Look,
die. Yeah, go ahead.
okay,
I'm
if
just saying. By
there's
the way, these are rational conclusions of atheism. I'm just
no,
demonstrating
no, no,
to
no,
the
no,
people
no,
that.
I
Okay, go
disagree.
ahead. Go ahead. Tell me why you disagree.
Because okay, I'll try to give an example, and I don't know if that will get the point across. But
Okay,
you can have a shark that is really stupid and doesn't understand anything,
let's talk about
and
humans.
okay,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna have to use this example just to first get the point across.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
So you have a shark, it doesn't understand what it's doing and it doesn't have any sense of morality. But even though I know that the shark is not at fault, then I would still kill it to stop it from killing my family or trying to eat my family because I care about my family. That's something I value. And in the same sense, even though I can see that no human can be at fault for things that they do because we live in a deterministic world, then I'll still say that we should still do things to stop
I'm
bad
not
things
talking
from
about
happening.
punishments though. I'm saying you're saying they don't deserve to be punished. It's not. I'm not asking you whether they should or they shouldn't.
Yeah.
You're
On
now
a
being
on a
you're now being a bit pedantic there. I'm not saying that they should or they shouldn't. I'm saying on your worldview they don't deserve to be punished. They're innocent.
yeah, on
So
a very on a
the person who rapes a person's sister, and then a pedophile who goes to the park with little children and starts grabbing them and doing hideous acts with them. According to you, he's an innocent individual that does not deserve to be punished, and the justice
depend
system
I mean
is just there for utility reasons.
it depends on how you define what an individual is, I guess, because you could still say that the individual
Define
is
what
bad.
individual is: a human being. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I can definitely agree that it's a bad individual, as in it
Bad.
brings
What you
bad
don't you believe in
things.
subjective morality? You can't say bad. Bad is in your worldview only. Good to the someone
Yeah,
else
it's
because
bad according to my
so
worldview.
it's not really objective. It's not objectively bad to be a pedophile
Yeah,
according to you.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. So that's enough. For me, it is enough to show, and I appreciate your honesty, at least, because a lot of atheists, they're not intelligent enough to know that these are necessary conclusions from their worldview. They don't understand that they have to accept this if they hold the worldview of atheism. If you are an atheist, you have to accept that things are determined. You have to, causality will force you to believe that. If you're an atheist, you have to believe there's no objective morality. You have to accept that morality is subjective, therefore nothing is right or wrong, right? You can't account for your rational faculties, because if you believe in evolution, rational faculties are not really rational. They just evolved for survival and reproduction, and they trick you to think that they're rational, which is another problem that Darwin had with his own theory, right? And I could go on and on to show how ridiculous it is in reality for a theist to look at the atheist position when it is unveiled, right? Now, comparison to a theist position, someone who can account for his rationality, can account for objective morality, can account for a justice system to punish the individuals who do evil, who do rape and steal and murder and do all of these evil things. That God is the one who determines right and wrong, and God is the one who gives us a system in which we can have this balance of punishing someone for the evil that he does. Rationality is accounted for because it's God-given. The morality that is deep within the human being is God-given as well. So I would say any rational individual would see the absurdity of the atheist position, leading him using his rationality to the theist position. If he's sincere, if he's not sincere, that's a different topic. But maybe we can maybe we
can't really have a discussion.
We can leave it on that, right? No, because all I do is just I unveil the presuppositions of atheism that a lot of people don't discuss. And once you unveil them, things become more. I can even get things to be more ridiculous. Like if asking you, does the world exist? Does anything exist objectively?
Does anything exist?
Yeah, in your worldview. Does the universe exist? Other people, humans?
Yeah, something exists.
Yeah, that's it. That's the best you could do as an atheist, to say something exists, right? And when you say something exists and you're not even sure I'm there, having a conversation with you is ridiculous from my worldview, because the guy doesn't even believe I'm there. You know, look.
You can really.
The guy is not even sure. The guy is not even sure I'm there, right? The point is this, as I said, and things can go even more, the more deeper you go into this. If you rationally understand what atheism is, you understand how ridiculous it is. That it's not even worth someone giving it.
I don't think you can get around that issue either. Because there could just be an anti-God that is telling you.
No, I trust my experiences.
You trust your experiences?
Yeah. For me, I trust my experience that I exist. I trust my experience that there's a table in front of me. Trust my
I do that too.
Yeah, no, but I know for certain, I trust certainty based on that experience. I don't have this epistemological value that you would attribute to a direct experience. In atheism, you would claim direct experiences does not lead you to something you can have certainty in. From our worldview, I have certainty in those experiences that I'm having. You don't have certainty in those experiences that you're having.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the difference.
So you're just saying that you choose to be 100% certain even though you could be wrong.
I don't think I could be wrong. I say my experiences are true, and they've always been true. They've always been the way they are. They've always been consistent. I have no reason to doubt them. So the problem in your position is
it illogical?
The problem, let me explain to you. The problem is to think you need to doubt everything before you believe it. This is where it comes. Certain things is what I would say you need a reason to doubt them, not a reason to believe them. I've already experienced reality. It's been consistent. It's already happening every day. I have no reason to doubt it. You get what I'm trying to say? Since I have no reason to doubt it, I believe in it certainly. Unless someone can prove it to me certainly that it's not true, then I would adopt that position. So it's not. I don't go the other way around. Do you understand? This is where the problem comes with hyper-skepticism with certain philosophical beliefs, right?
Yeah, I'd say I agree with that mostly.
Okay, but no problem. Anyways, do you have any other questions for me?
Huh?
Do you have any other questions for me? And your friend, he just brought you in here. Okay. Have you read the Quran before?
No, I've listened to some bits, but I haven't.
Yeah. Why don't you get a copy of the Quran to read then?
It's honestly too boring.
You don't read it, do you? You don't read. So yeah,
I don't read a lot.
This generation doesn't read. So this generation is away from books, right? TikTok generation, 1 minute clips and stuff like that. Look, watch something on the Quran then. Watch. I don't know about you. I'm saying this generation generally. You probably would agree with me. So just watch certain videos about Quran, miracles of the Quran, the evidences for Islam. Yeah. Like certain, you will find these. You can do
I've
that.
I've seen a lot of those, and I didn't find anything convincing.
Yeah, because you don't have a criteria of what is convincing, as I told you from the beginning, right? So let's end it here anyways. So my advice is read the Quran, ask Allah to guide you. And I ask Allah that one day you come to the realization of how ridiculous it is to hold atheistic positions. etc. And that's
Okay.
just this is generally what I would say. So
And
it was
I'll
nice
say the
talking to you,
same
though.
to you then.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you. I hope I didn't offend you in any way or say anything wrong with this or that. Apologize if I did. It's not the intention. It's just having a nice discussion with you. So I hope you did enjoy it and you were not offended or anything like that.
I'm certainly not offended. I don't
Okay,
know why I
that's
would be offended. But
that's good. Okay, so I'll let you go. Yeah, pleasure
yeah,
talking to you.
you're good.
No problem. I'll let you go.